Hello. So I finished This Winter, which is an Alice Oseman short story novella thing about the characters from Solitaire and Heartstoppers, and it was sweet. I liked it a lot better than Nick and Charlie, which I read last month. Yeah, I don't have much to say about it. It was short. It was nice. There were good moments. That's kind of it. Yeah. Whew, man. It's almost bedtime. See you with the next book. Hello. I finished Book Lovers. Wow, I finished it late last night, so I didn't film right as I finished it because I was in bed. This book was so good. It was so cute. I was unsure about this one. I didn't think I would really like it, but I was curious enough, and now it's one of my new favorites. I have read Beach Read by Emily Henry. I have not read her second book, but wow. It was so good. The love. I find sometimes, like, yeah, I enjoy romance, but sometimes the authors just aren't good at writing, like, a connection or the tension. Like, I just don't feel it. Like, I can enjoy romance books, but sometimes it's like, it's not like this, where I cried and my heart was hurting and I just wanted them to bang because the tension was so good. Oh, there's a scene where the main character, Nora, is listening to Charlie's heartbeat, and it reminds her of New York because she loves it there. And she's in, like, a small town, and it's just quiet, and she's not used to it, like, the silence, but his heart reminds her of New York. And it just, oh my god, I was in so much pain! This book makes me miss my boyfriend so much. I cried more than I should have, I think. I don't know. It was so good. Please read this book. I need to reread Beach Read now. But I have to read so many other books. But yeah, this one, fantastic. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Don't let, I don't know, the description or the way the internet's describing it throw you off, because they said it was like an enemies or rivals to lovers. They weren't really enemies or rivals. They just met and, like, had a bad first interaction, and then after that, like, they met up again and it wasn't that bad, you know? So I think that's the one thing I didn't really care for, is how they, like, on the back it literally says two rivals, but they're not really rivals, you know? So that's more of a publisher problem. Stop trying to promote books just based off tropes. It doesn't work. It really doesn't. So do not go into this thinking it's a full-on rivals to lovers, enemies to lovers situation, because it's really not. But yeah, I loved this book. Nora and Charlie have my heart, and I love it so much. Oh my god, it was so good. Hi, so I finished Heartstopper Volume 4. That hurt. That really hurt a lot. I was going to reread the other 3, and then I lent them to my cousin, so I don't have them, and I did not want to wait. And also now I can lend this one to him. But oh my god, this book was so cute, but also I'm in a lot of pain. Yeah, this just follows the continuation of the story of Nick and Charlie. It's what I think would be season 2 of the show, from the way people on Twitter talk about it. It's been a while since I read the first 3. I read them all in 2021, like a year ago. So I don't really remember what the TV show followed, but I watched the show and it was so good. I love Alice's art. It's adorable. The dogs, so cute. Oh my gosh. Henry, we love Henry in this house. I was kind of sad that the book didn't end with the school burning down, and I wonder if that's going to be addressed or just shown as a little reference in any of the volumes. I guess the next one. because I think there was only going to be 5. I don't know, but I think that would be funny. Yeah, Heartstopper. This one is definitely a lot darker, as it follows more of the mental health struggles Charlie has going on. So that part did make me cry, but then there were cute dogs to make up for it. And yeah, that's kind of all I gotta say about this. Hi, I finished A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. This was okay. Not my favorite. Out of the YA thrillers I've read, I prefer Sadie to this one. But you know. I don't know. I don't have many thoughts. I didn't really care about the main character. I found her kind of annoying. Yeah, I don't know. Not much to say. It was alright though. Like, I'd probably reread it if I wanted something to reread one day. It also got water damaged, so I like that. I like it when books are crinkly. But yeah. Sorry, I'm so tired. Work has been crazy. I don't know. I kind of guessed a lot of the book. Like, I don't want to spoil any. Well, I'll spoil. Where the body was hidden, I kind of guessed that once the location was brought up. Because it was like, well, why else would they mention that? I did not guess the killer for the sister, but I did guess the killer for, the dude. Because I thought he was the killer for both of them. But I guess I was half right. So the plot twist was good, because I didn't see it coming. But yeah, I don't know. Not much else to say. It was okay. But I do have the sequel, so we'll see what I think about that. Hello. So I have COVID, and I finished a book. It is also very smoky in my house. My dad is making smash burgers. It's just burger smoke all over the house. Not a good combination, but this book and my emotions were a good combination. Finished The Tourist Attraction. This is one of my favorite rom-coms. I read it for the first time in 2021. Thought to reread it because I was sick and sad, and it was a very fun journey. This book is just, it's a cute romance. Sorry, jeez. Whew. Yeah. It follows Zoe, who's a tourist, and she is the sunshine to Graham's grumpy. He is a local who hates tourists, but she is able to thaw his frozen Alaskan heart. So cute, so cheesy, but everything I wanted in a romance book. It makes me think of my boyfriend. So I cry a lot because we're long distance, and you know, we have to part ways every time we visit, and they had to part ways because she's a tourist, or do they? I don't know. I won't spoil the ending because I love this book and I want people to read it. Also, this is way just off topic and random, but I'm having my first watermelon burger of the season. Woohoo! I put watermelon on hamburgers instead of tomatoes when watermelon is available. Just thought I'd share that. It's actually pretty good and want more people to try it. Anyways, please read this book. It's part of a trilogy. I have not read the other 2 yet because every time I want to, I'm not in a romance mood. Because sometimes romance makes me really sad. Because my boyfriend's so far away and it costs like $3,000 to go do a trip. So that's fun. But yeah. I would highly suggest this book for anyone who's looking for a cute little happy-go-lucky romance with the sunshine grumpy trope, even though there's a lot more to the book than just the trope. There's also a cute dog who wears sweaters. Hello, hello, hello. This is just my favorite spot to film, I guess, because I'm always here. Or I do the best filming when I'm here, with you in my cupboard, the toilet in the background that you can't actually see, so I pointed it out for nothing. Okay, so this is my wrap-up portion of the video. I'm making a tea, so ignore the stirring. I don't know if you can hear it. Anyways, I read 5 books this month. This winter: Heartstoppers #4, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, Book Lovers, and The Tourist Attraction. I don't think that was the order I read them in, but that's the order I wrote them down in. So, you can probably hear my voice. I am just at like the final leg of having COVID, so I'm still a bit whatever. This month was okay for books. I think the lowest rated one was A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I think I gave it 3 stars because it was it was fun to read, but it wasn't life-changing as I kind of suspected, because it is very popular on TikTok. I will read the sequel because I did buy it, but it wasn't, I don't know, I kind of guessed what was going on. I didn't guess the actual killer, but I did guess kind of most of the plot very early on. So, I don't know. I think if you're looking for a young adult murder mystery that's a little cheesy, that one is good. If you want one that isn't that cheesy, read Sadie by Courtney Summers, I believe is the author name. That book is fantastic. So I will always jump at a chance to promote Sadie. Let's see, Heartstoppers and This Winter, same series. They were okay. Well, they were good. I like Heartstoppers. I read them both very fast because I don't know how to pace myself with a graphic novel, and This Winter was very short. I read them both in, like, if you put them together, it would have been like, what, an hour and 20 minutes worth of reading for those two. I think This Winter was better than Nick and Charlie, which I read last month, I think. So there's that. Yeah, don't have too much to say about those ones. Heartstoppers 4 was very sad, though. I will say that. Book Lovers and The Tourist Attraction. Those books I loved with my whole heart. I love The Tourist Attraction. I read it first in 2021. It was the first book I read that year. Very cute, makes me miss my boyfriend, so I cry a lot while reading it. And Book Lovers also made me miss my boyfriend, so I cried a lot while reading it. It was very cute. I love romance books with all my heart. Book Lovers, the sexual tension in the scene, if you've read it, when they're at the library, I wanted them to fuck in public because I was like, there's no way that they're not going to. They have to. The sexual tension was written beautifully. Then they didn't fuck in the library, so don't worry. They didn't. But I was like, oh, what do you mean they're not? Because it was just, the way it was written was so good. I wanted them to bang in public because I just needed them to get it out of their system, and then they didn't. Spoiler alert, when they do end up banging, it was very sweet, and I cried. Because there's the part where she's listening to, I forget the guy's name. Charlie? He's Charlie, she's Nora. Nora is listening to Charlie's heartbeat, and she's like, it reminds me of New York and the city that I love. And I sobbed. I was a mess. The Tourist Attraction is about Graham and Zoe. He's a grumpy local. She's a sunshine tourist. He hates locals. She is not a local. I mean, he hates tourists, which she is not. But he has a soft spot for her. And it was adorable. It's very cheesy in all the fun ways. I loved the world the author created. It's like a fictionalized town in Alaska, but I just loved the town and all the little activities Zoe goes on for her trip, and just seeing Graham like kind of start opening up to the idea of a tourist. It was very sweet. He has a passion for wood carving. I love it when characters have those little quirks, you know. It's like, oh, in what is it called, A Very Large Expanse of Sea by Tahereh Mafi. Like, the main character does breakdancing. Like, that's so cool. I love it when characters have their own little thing. Like Graham with his wood carving. He just, you know, he wasn't good enough for art school, so he opened a diner. But he still wood carves because it's his passion. It's his first love. I love that. That book just has a special place in my heart. I love it so much. There's also, if, like, the third act breakup in this book makes sense with kind of the context of things going on around, like, in the background. I do think it should have been shifted a little. Because there's a scene earlier that would have been perfect for, like, the main breakup. But it also works where it happened. It just feels like those could have been combined. And I don't really want to spoil anything. Well, fuck, I don't care. Graham, is kind of friends with a moose. The moose tries to break into his car all the time to steal, bread. And they have, like, this human-animal understanding. But tourists don't. They just want to go up and stand near the moose, like, look at that, it's a moose. And a tourist ends up getting hurt, so they have to relocate the moose. And then there's a scene where one of Zoe's friends buys some land in the place, like in the town, to try and get more tourism in, because that's their main source of income for everyone in the town, as much as they hate the fact that it is. And then some people attack her, and then Graham is like, well, like, Graham is kind of to blame because he's been, like, riling everyone up. Like, we need to make sure this doesn't happen. So the drama is in both those sections, like, us versus them, locals versus tourists. And I think if they had combined that drama, it would have been a lot stronger. But that's, like, my only complaint about the book, honestly. That's the only thing. And that there wasn't more of the dog. He wears fun sweaters. Like, come on. I love him. But yeah. So I think if those had just been combined, but they also work kind of on their own. Because, like, they both kind of end in the fight. Like, Graham is like, you don't understand, like, when the moose has to be relocated. He's like, you don't understand because to you, this is just a vacation, and to me, this is my life. And that animal he was just existing, and these people came and ruined it. And that's all tourists do. And she's like, well, not all tourists. And he's like, enough of them. So they kind of have a fight there. But it's understandable because Graham is torn and heartbroken because this moose was, like, you know, family, even though it's a moose, a wild animal. And in the next breakup, Zoe is like, oh my god, like, dude, you need to get over yourself and this tourist thing, because that's the reason, like, you have a thriving business because of tourists. They're the reason this town is, like, staying open and there's jobs available for people, but you keep taking it too far. And, you know, like, am I all that different? Because I'm a tourist, and I just think they should have been mashed together, personally. But yeah. I like fixing third act breakups in books. It's my passion. When I'm reading them, I'm like, here's how you could have made it better and more, like, believable. But I do think they're believable. I just kind of wish I could have seen them together in one. But yeah. I feel like I spent too long complaining about a book that I loved, so I'm sorry. Also, if I was ever given a lot of money and the ability to adapt any novel into a movie, I would pick The Tourist Attraction, and I would fix the third act breakup to what I want it to be, and then it would be perfect. It would be the perfect movie, and the cute dog would be in it a lot more. Just random shots of him in sweaters. But also the very end made me cry. The very last, like, page, I sobbed. So, thank you, Sarah Morgenthwaiter. I'm not gonna say your last name right. I'm so sorry, but thank you for those emotions. It hurt. yeah, I don't really know what else to say. Those are the books I read. I want to try to read like 10 to 20 books this month. Why? Because I don't know. I just decided that last night. I don't think I'm actually going to read that many books in June. I'm guessing it's going to be like 3 to 5, but we'll see.